Next, he just said LeBron James has done a lot of things behind closed doors that he won't speak about. And it seems like he just can't say what he really wants to say. Like, why don't you say straight up this is what he did? Like, Stephen A. Smith's the kind of guy that tries to come off like, I keep it real, man. I always keep it real, you know. I'm from Hollis, Queens. You from Hollis, Queens? Keep it real. What happened? How you blackball you? Why? You know what I'm saying? Stand on business, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Can you believe they told me that I would never make it? Now we smiling in their faces, smiling in their faces. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tyler Rose TV. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. For today's video, we got something special, as we always do. This time we have Stephen A. Smith on Gil's Arena. If you don't know what Gil's Arena is basically a podcast combusted of a bunch of former NBA players, led by former NBA player and gun enthusiast, Gilbert Arenas. Now, Stephen A. Smith stopped by on the show, and he talked about a few things. One video already covered when he spoke about why he placed LeBron, above Kobe, and it just seemed like he said things that didn't really make sense. I covered that video. If you want to check it out, it's on my channel. But for today's video, he's speaking about his relationship with LeBron James, and he says a lot of things that made me scratch my head. He seems like he's not saying how he really wants to talk about LeBron, but unfortunately, maybe contractually, I can only say so much. This video is interesting. If you haven't seen it, we're going to roll the clip, and then I'm going to break down some of the things of what I thought he said, which was interesting to me, and then we're going to get back into the video. Let's do it.
I have no desire to talk about him at all. He is, in my mind, the second greatest player in the history of basketball, who is a four-time champion, a four-time league MVP, has been an incredible ambassador for the game of basketball. His respect has been earned, not given. And nobody can deny that. But that's the basketball player, not the man. And all I would say is people don't know the things that have happened behind the scenes, things that have been said, who they've been said to, the kind of things that have been engaged in an effort to hurt me, along with contemporaries and others. There's a lot of shit that I know that I don't say. And there's a reason that I feel the way that I do. And the last straw was him approaching me and turning the Bronny thing into something about me attacking somebody's family when it was him I was talking about, not Bronny. And then to go on the Pat McAfee show, which comes directly on after my show, on the channel that I work on, to insult me. Now, people could get into all kind of components that come with it and all of that other stuff. I have nothing to say. I'm a professional. I represent ESPN. I now represent SiriusXM. But most importantly, I represent myself. And I'm never going to denigrate any employer, any partner, or myself by getting into anything excessively, unnecessarily when it comes to him or anybody else. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to cover the game of basketball. But if I never, ever speak to him again in life, that will be okay.
All right, so you just heard it there. What are my thoughts on this? $100 million. Stephen A. Smith reportedly signed a deal of $100 million. I'd love to see what this contract is showing. I would absolutely love to see what this contract says, what Stephen A. Smith can do, who he can talk about, and what extents he can talk about the person. Stephen A. Smith said in this clip, I'm a reporter. I report on things. Okay, report on what happened. What happened in recent news? Jeff Teague, the biogenesis, the other guy from UFC speaking about it. We don't speak about it. We don't talk about it on ESPN. We don't cover it. Last time I checked, he was like the executive producer at First Take. So if you're executive producer at First Take, you're able to create the show and produce the show how you want it and what you want to talk about. Isn't it interesting how that doesn't get covered? The biogenesis is a real federal investigation. This was not some nothingness. You know, this was for real. And obviously his name was named in it. His buddy was named in it. You would think a reporter who reports on basketball would just talk about it or bring it up. Or even on ESPN, talk about what Jeff Teague said. Jeff Teague's a former NBA player. He has his own platform over I think he had like over 100, over like 500,000 subscribers. This is a big platform. It was a big story. You work for ESPN, you need stories. ESPN, from what I know, isn't doing the greatest. You would think that a guy like Stephen A. Smith would report on it. You wonder why he has a report on it. I wanted to say. Next, he just said LeBron James has done a lot of things behind closed doors that he won't speak about. And that really got me thinking too, okay, so LeBron James has done a lot behind closed doors. Maybe blackballed, maybe Stephen A. Smith, maybe he said things, maybe try to not get him in, in certain doors that he's probably trying to get into in this, the sports industry. But you would think about somebody saying that, right? And then it seems like he just can't say what he really wants to say. Like, why don't you say straight up, this is what he did? Like, Stephen A. Smith's the kind of guy that tries to come off like, I keep it real, man. I always keep it real, I'm from Hollis, Queens. You from Hollis, Queens? Keep it real. What happened? How you blackball you? Why? You know what I'm saying? Stand on business, bro. We see you on ESPN act like you know everything, and then you have an opportunity to sit there on a couch with some dudes, then keep it real. And this leads me to the next topic of this whole thing. Bro, the downfall of LeBron's career is going to be when he retires. Everybody goes through the ringer. Kobe had the case during his career. After the case, they tried to mess with his legacy. Jordan even had the gambling scandal, the stuff with his father. There's always something. LeBron, it seems like it's going to be this PED allegation stuff. That's exactly what it's going to be. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of people have information on it, and I feel like they've been told not to speak about it, or they're afraid for any repercussions for their future business. And I guess if you're in the business to make money and not actually have a passion to speak about basketball or sports, then maybe you will, withhold some information to the public. The whole LeBron and Bronny James stuff, man, that would have to be, to me, one of the weakest moves. Like, LeBron, I ain't giving you no respect for approaching a 57-year-old, 60-year-old man, like 6 foot, barely in shape, sitting there in a suit, and you dog checking a guy, just speaking about another player in this league that so happens to be your son. That whole situation was whack. I think I talked about it already. But the simple conversation, the simple debate or back and forth between Stephen A. and LeBron is always interesting to me, because I do feel like Stephen A. Smith is afraid to say how he really feels about him in order to please the network or please the people that he works for behind the scenes. And I feel like the same people that he wants to please may be the same people that LeBron try to get him fired from. And that right there is for another video. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think Stephen A. Smith is holding something back? Do you think he's being truthful about, his relationship with LeBron? Do you think there's more to it? And do you think Stephen A. Smith, when it's all said and done, will finally expose all these little dark secrets he supposedly has? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. My name is Tyler. This is Tyler Rose TV. I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace.